Do you have one of these funsicle pools and you keep having trouble with the pump? Well, I'm going to show you what I did with mine, and this is not a how-to. I'm going to show you how I made the water side connections to a pump. I'm not going to show you the electrical side because that's the scary part, and I hired an electrician to wire the pump. It has to be on a ground fault circuit, and that circuit keeps everybody alive. This is the ground fault interrupter that comes with the pump. Now I have to replace this because I'm using a pump that doesn't have one of these, and without it, it's like throwing a live extension cord into the pool. This is the ground fault outlet that I had installed by my electrician. As you can see, it's got a test and a reset that makes sure it's working. Now that's what keeps everybody alive if any electricity comes near water, and since it's a pool, this is the most important safety advice. This is the pump I'm going to replace the one that came with the unit with. Now it's a spa pump, and you can tell that because it doesn't have a skimmer on the end, but they all work exactly the same. The way I adapted the hosing to the pool pump was the outlets on this are basically 1.25 inches. So what I did here is I put a slip-on connector with a threaded 1.5 inch reducer, to an 1.5 inch to 1.25 inch barb. Now I had to cut the very last piece off the barb in order to make them fit tight. And this is a 1 inch rubber coupling meant to hold together joints in black cast iron pipe. And that got us this far. It's exactly the same on the outlet of the skimmer. Then I have a street elbow into a coupling on the discharge and just a coupling to the end of the pump. With a bunch of flex piping joining the pool to the pump. Now obviously this pump is too strong for the pool, so I'm going to show you what happened. Basically what happened is I turned my pool to a spa because the pump was too strong. The way to get around that is a bypass. So I put a valve in, and if I open the valve, it makes my pool pump much less efficient. And so that's very acceptable, and now I have a real pump running my pool. So what a bypass does is it joins the suction and the discharge together, and when I open that valve, it lets more water in and reduces the efficiency to the pump to a level that I'm happy with. Now, I got to admit, I put the bypass in after I installed the pump to solve a problem. So I put it close to the pump, and I added a T with an 1.5 inch to 1 inch reducer, and put a 1 inch poly nipple in it. After the poly nipple, I added a 1 inch valve and the exact same on the other side. Now, I'm running it with this valve all the way open, so I could have just saved the valve and put a 1 inch poly nipple all the way across it. But, I didn't know at the time, so live and learn. Are there things I would have done differently? Yes. I would have come out of here with an elbow and gone rigid 1.5 inch PVC to the ground, and that would have supported this coupling. Same thing here. I would have gone 1.5 inch PVC to the ground and then put an elbow on the end, aimed towards the pump. that would have supported these better. But this pool is only going to be here for a month and a half, and then we're taking it down. So it really doesn't matter. The reason these hoses are so long is to get my pump closer to the GFI outlet. Don't forget the GFI outlet. That's the most important thing. Have an electrician do it, because the manufacturer protected your life by putting one on here. As for inside the skimmer, the original pump is still in here with the original impeller. Didn't touch anything. We're still running the cartridge filters. That's all as it was. Matter of fact, I could probably plug this in now, and if I fix the impeller, it would run. I hope this helps you. Make sure to have an electrician take care of the power side, because that side is lethal. Found this interesting in any way, please like, share, and subscribe.